Welcome to the Fully Over It podcast. Yo, that right there is my boys and We Will All Heal. The song is called Elysium. Check it out. It's absolutely fire. It's fucking awesome. This is episode 1. Wanted to get into it right off the bat. I have a couple of things lined up for today's episode. Some of them are pretty funny. The whole point of this whole podcast is to kind of like take a look at what's happening like culturally and see if we can find like a comedic way of like making light of it. So like we'll see like pop culture things happening, like current events happening like on the fly, and we'll talk about it like every week. So with that being said, let's get right into episode 1. I want to talk about Kim Kardashian, not in a way that you think because I'm a guy I want to talk about her, not because of her butt, not because of them cheeks. I don't care about that. They're fake. Anyways, we're going to get past it. That's fine. But recently she came out on some sort of interview with her family saying that basically she gave her advice, her 2 cents on what we need to do as women. Well, I'm not a woman, but if I was a woman, what I would need to do. And I guess she said to get up and work hard and just keep on working, something of the sort. I guess the actual thing was get your ass up and work. Now that to me is funny because she's done it on 2 different accounts, and I want to be respectful. The first account was on the sex tape. She did get her ass up and she did do work. We all saw it, but we can get past that. Now, in a professional aspect, she is trying to be a lawyer. She does actually have a multi-million-dollar industry. She does work. Now, people want to say, well, did it take her much work to get to that point? Without the sex tape, would she be that person? I would say yes. It wouldn't be the same way as it is now, most likely. But I think to a degree, I think certain people are just destined to be known. And in her case, that's the case. But what gets even trippier is that, like, universally, it's not just her. It's like it starts out with her and then her 2 sisters, right? And then it goes bigger than that. Then it becomes the mom. And then it becomes the 2 stepsisters. And then there's like a son. And then the dad becomes the mom. It's just like crazy. You know what I mean? But anyways, bringing it back. Kim Kardashian. Get your ass up and work. Double entendre. Same. Different. But it's pretty crazy to see that. What's also crazy is the crazy shit that's happening with like Pete Davidson, Kim Kardashian, and Kanye West. Like, that's a sentence. Like, I never thought I would like say that sentence. But even more crazy of a sentence is the fact that Kim Kardashian is with Pete Davidson. What's crazier is Pete Davidson dated Ariana Grande. And then before that, he was with Kate Beckinsale. Yo, what's up with Pete, man? Tell me. I'm starting to think women just like comedy. If you can make a girl laugh, she's yours. If you also have a giant penis, that helps a lot. You know? Maybe that's what it is for Pete. Maybe he's just so comedically funny and he has a big penis. I'm talking about another man's penis right now. Episode 1. Welcome. So, what's even gnarlier is kind of like moving away from the Kim Kardashian thing is this like Kanye West thing. Don't really fully know what's going on. Apparently he's pissed. He apparently can't see his kids, which I'd be pissed about. But he's losing it. She's losing it. And these kids are the ones who have to suffer, which is super whack. And what are we, folks? We're fully over it. That's the podcast. We're fully over it. Bye-bye. Just kidding. That's not it. You wish. Now, it's like you want to give your opinion on the Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, Pete Davidson thing, but it's like you get to a point and you're like, you see all these people upset, all these people reposting these things like, oh man, this one's toxic, or like, oh man, this one's toxic. It's like, yo, bro, you're toxic. Why are you posting these things? Work on thyself. Work on yourself. Why does it matter? I mean, I'm a guy that's trying to do a podcast, so I guess I could talk about it. But like random people are like genuinely pissed. Like Kanye West supporters are coming out the droves like, oh, fuck Pete. Fuck that guy. He doesn't respect mental health. Like, nobody respects mental health. Like, fuck that guy. And it's like, well, I mean, yeah. We all know what he did to Mac Miller when he was with Ariana Grande. I think that's one of the reasons why Ariana Grande left him. Pete is kind of scandalous based on what we've heard, you know, in the limelight. But the media is controlled, you know. Like, the narrative is always controlled. So who knows? Like, you could turn left, but they'll tell everybody you turned right. I don't really know where I'm going with this. Pete Davidson has a big penis. Let's just go back there. That was an easy form of conversation. But I don't know. What do you do in that situation, you know? Like, I always think of myself, you know, I try and picture myself in people's shoes. I know it's riveting, right? If you try and do that. But anyways, so I try and do that, and like I don't really like understand how certain people behave in certain ways. I guess if you're like rich and famous and you have like an iconic like level of stardom, I guess you like kind of behave in like a more psychotic manner. I mean, I don't know. I think about it like that. Like, what would happen if I became a billionaire? I would absolutely lose my mind. I'm not saying I'd go and do a bunch of drugs. I'm not saying that. No way. But I'm saying I would be doing the craziest shit. I'd buy a wingsuit. I'd go flying around. I would, you know, travel all over the world. Who knows? But I would be a psychotic. I'd be like Justin Bieber when he was 14 at the Great Wall of China. I'd be like, yo, pick me up, bitch. I want to walk over here. That could be me. But it's not, you know. Well, there's still time. I still could be that guy. You know, I can get my own bodyguard. He can carry me. Funny story is, I think I know that bodyguard. A friend of a friend. Crazy. He picked up Justin Bieber when he was 14 years old, put him on his shoulders. A 14-year-old on a grown man's shoulders. Now, is it possible for a grown man to be on a grown man's shoulders? I don't know. But if I become filthy rich, if I become Shad Bezos, like, because, you know, like he's bald, I'm bald. If I become like a, you know, like a Vin Diesel type, he's bald, I'm bald, racing cars in space, you know, me, Jeff Bezos, and Vin Diesel. That right there is the bald dream team, okay? We're coming. Hide your wives. Hide your beautiful daughters. We're coming. Not to have sex with them because that's wrong. But we're going to treat them like, you know, respectful people. We're going to show them the ways on how to be a street racer in space. Or look at The Rock. The Rock is huge. And he's bald. I'm telling you, bald people are the best people in the world. Look at Shaq. Shaq is just doing side quests now. He completed the game. He was like, I'm going back to school. I'm going to get my degree. And now I'm going to do all these things. I'm going to be a DJ. Shaq's a DJ. He's like, how tall is he? 9'10"? 9'11"? That's insane. He's so big. You know, I don't want to put this out there, but the minute we lose Shaq, that's going to crush me. Kazam? Y'all remember that kid in Kazam? Could you imagine being that kid as an actor nowadays? He had those two little, like, beaver teeth in the front. Awkward, you know? It's just weird. Some people are just weird. It's like that. I'm weird. We can move on past it, though. What's actually pretty crazy is if I can be semi-serious. I'm not fully over it, though, but I'm going to be semi-serious. What's happening in Russia and Ukraine is crazy. I see shit like every day. Like every day. Things exploding, like Russian like ambushes and like Ukrainian like convoy ambushes, like crazy. Like that's happening right now. What's even crazier is their president. Some call him a dictator. Some call him a president. I don't know what to call him. I call him a dictator as an American. I feel like I should call him that, but I don't know. I'm not educated, but I'm just going to go with it because, you know, wrong. I don't know. But what's crazy is I heard that Steven Seagal is like a huge Russia supporter. First of all, Steven Seagal, my man. Irrelevant. You're irrelevant, dude. Like, what do you do now, dude? I heard he was a sheriff in like New Hampshire or something, like a police officer. Like that's cool, bro. I guess Blue Lives Matter. I guess. But like, I guess. Who are you, Steven Seagal? Why do we care if you're pro-Russia? Well, we don't. So keep it to yourself. Maybe go like tweet it, you know? I know people care, but that's fine. I just saw spit come out of my mouth, but that's fine. But yeah, so lots of sadness happening in all actuality in Russia, Ukraine. It's pretty bad. I see stuff people saying like, oh, I don't even know why we're here. Yeah. Some of our soldiers could relate back when they were in Afghanistan, in Iraq. They were like, why are we here? I mean, I feel like that's kind of like the thing. You know, it's kind of like the narrative that always comes out. It's like, do you not know you're signing up to go to war? That's what I always like trip out about is like when people are like, oh, I'm gonna join the military, and then they're surprised when there's like an actual like thing happening, and they get pulled out to go. It's like, what did you think was gonna happen, dude? Like, this isn't a fraternity, bro. This isn't Gamma Alpha Pi, dude. This isn't Gap. This isn't Gap, bro. Shout out Kanye West. But no, in all actuality, what's funny is there's sanctions happening. Like, all the UN is doing all these crazy sanctions, and like all this like random stuff is happening like through it. So like, I'll watch Premier League soccer. I love Premier League soccer. One specific instance of like, or one example of consequences that are happening because of all this is the Russian oligarchs throughout the world are just getting like destroyed as far as like, because Russia's stock market with all the sanctions, like their dollar or their like whatever their currency is went down like 40%. So people lost troves and like millions of dollars worth of money. So like, with more sanctions happening and being discussed about, like, their economy is not going to be doing very good. Now, like, you know, they say otherwise, like in Russia, but like apparently that's just the whole world is like canceling them. It's like a giant cancel fest. One example is Roman Abramovich. He is the owner, or was the owner, I guess was the owner of Chelsea FC. Now, this guy came in like 19, 20 years ago and basically hooked the team up, basically gave the team all the funds and got them from like a mid-tier team to like one of the most craziest football club organizations, whatever the fuck, in the world ever. Chelsea has won like numerous and countless trophies. Like, you can't even talk bad about it. You just have to respect it. You know, London, in my opinion, has always been blue. Will probably be blue for a long time. A lot of the players like Didier Drogba, Fernando Torres, Frank Lampard, John Terry, Michael Essien, all of these players were one of the greatest teams ever. One of the greatest players and one of the greatest teams ever. They just all worked so well together. A big reason for that was Roman Abramovich. Roman was just dishing out all the money. Now, here's the thing. He's a Russian oligarch. And here's where it gets tricky. He owns or has some sort of own or, you know, share or whatever. I think he owns, I'm pretty sure, in metals, like a metal company in Russia. That metal company is used to create the tanks and like the weapons and like the aircrafts for the Russian army. So it's kind of like a really bad conflict of interest type of thing. And then also like the UK government is fully over this man. They've been fully over this man since he purchased the team, you know? And at that point, you know, the team is culturally significant. I mean, like, the government took the team away from him recently because all of his assets got frozen. All the team assets got frozen, which is horrible. All the players are having to suffer, and like all the staff are having to suffer. And I wouldn't doubt it. There's probably a lot of people who lost jobs because of this whole situation, which is totally understandable. Like, it makes sense. But don't punish the team. Don't punish the players. We're fully over it. We don't want that. You know, especially for a team like that. Like, I feel like everybody respects Chelsea, unless you're like an Arsenal or a Tottenham fan. Shout out to Zane Peck if you're an Arsenal fan. Well, he's still an Arsenal fan because he's the true Arsenalist. Not Arsenal, Tottenham fan. Sorry, bro, don't kill me. No, Zane is by far one of my coolest friends. He's one of my most amazing friends, but he loves Tottenham, and like his family loves Tottenham too. So it's always a good time hanging out with him and like talking football and talking players and like history of football. It's always fun. But yeah, so Roman Abramovich, I mean, some people are kind of bummed for him. Even some English people are, but like the English government's like, nah, bro, you got to get out of here. Like, nah, this is like basically, I think the government is forcing him to sell it. He was going to try and sell it and force all the proceeds that he got, he was going to send to like the Ukraine, but they were like, no, absolutely not. Froze everything, froze all the assets, froze all their credit cards got frozen, so they can't buy fuel for their the bus or for like the flights. You can't buy tickets for flights, even if it means like your private jet you can't use. You got to go into like I guess like civilian aircrafts with like other civilians, you know what I mean? And that's like so sketchy because COVID protocol, you know, I mean, especially for like these soccer players, like COVID protocol, everything in Europe is so condensed. You know what I mean? It's the condensed milk of the world, like all different types, literally. Like, you can take a step left 10 paces and you're in Bratislava. I mean, I wouldn't go to Bratislava. What's in Bratislava? Nothing. Has anybody ever seen Eurotrip? Nothing. But that exchange rate is pretty fire. Fire. With that being said, Putin, crazy man. Crazy, crazy, crazy man. Although he is the president of his nation, I guess he is within his right. But he is a villainous, crazy man, and I'm pretty excited to see what's about to happen. I mean, the guy fears he's going to get assassinated. He does. He sits like 2 miles away at the end of a desk while there's like a meeting. Like if he's having a meeting with other politicians, my man is 100 like yards away on an elongated desk or in a desk by himself. He's that paranoid of either getting a disease, getting poisoned, being assassinated. I mean, he did send hit squads after like Zelensky to get assassinated. So it's like, he's afraid of it, but he's also like telling his assassins to go do it for him too. Like, it's just wild. It's the world we live in. It's fucking nuts. But it's sometimes people are crazy. And you have to recognize the crazy aspects of people. You can't let them go into power if you even see like a sense of craziness. For example, everyone's like, don't free Britney. Or no, everyone's like, free Britney. I'm kind of on the other side. It's like, yo, are you sure you want to free this chick? Because it's not cool. Fully overseeing this chick. Everyone's taking advantage of her craziness. It's not right. From one crazy person to see another crazy person, it's like, yo, they're monetizing off your crazy. But yo, that's cool that she, has her freedom now. Apparently her dad had like a huge hand, like a hand of Saruman on her life, and she couldn't do shit. And that is debilitating to the mind. I think I made the word wrong. Debilitating. That could be messed up to your, mental. So I get it. But she doesn't seem all there. Maybe she should have like a homie, like just designated to be there with her all the time. You know what I mean? Like just like a hype man. Like, you got this, Brit. You know what I mean? You got this, Britney. Like, hit me, baby, one more time. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Playing with coins on my desk, and it's picking up in the microphone. But that's okay because it's amateur hour. One thing I do love about being able to talk on a podcast is talking about my interests and things that I like. And I wanted to turn that into a segment. Casually moving past the earlier segment of fucking talking about Kanye West, Putin, and Kim and all these people. Anyways, music is, to me, the great unifier. Love all types of music. Today, I want to talk about an album that I've been listening to for a really long time. By long time, I mean since it's come out. Literally, it came out like 3 weeks ago. The band name is Bad Omens. They're super, super good. They just released the album. The album's got amazing bangers of songs on it. You can find them on Spotify. You can find them on Apple Music. Check them out, man. They're fire. Basically, like, they have I listened to the whole album. The album's very versatile. Like, it's got like a bunch of different like specific dynamics in the music. Like some music that they have is like super heavy and like kind of metal. A couple of it is very like kind of like softer. It has more of like a post-rock element. So definitely check that out and see what that's like. You might definitely enjoy it. If you're fans of like Slipknot, if you're fans of like Under Oath, that's probably something that you would like for sure. So check that out. They have a new album that came out. I think you guys would really, really like it. There's also, really excited. We're going to talk about this at the next episode. But episode 2, we're going to go over the Batman. Not the one with Ben Affleck. We don't give a fuck. Okay? The only reason we like Ben Affleck, because he is with J-Lo. That's the only reason I give a shit. Because he's with J-Lo. Anyone who's with J-Lo, I give a shit. You could be Scooby fucking Doo, and you're with J-Lo. I give a shit. You could be Shaggy. And I'm not talking about like Shaggy from the show. I'm talking about like Shaggy the artist. And I would give a shit about you. Motherfucking Genuine, I'll give a shit about you. Okay? Okay? But I'm going to go see the Batman today. I'm very excited. Robert Pattinson, I'm not a hater. Your boy watched Twilight, and I liked it. I liked it. And you know what? I read the books too. And that's shameless. I have no shame. I read them. I read them on my lunch breaks, bro. At the Olive Garden. When you're here, your family. We had a thing called Hospitaliano. It's fucking awful. It's not even an Italian word. Cultural appropriation. It's like Outback Steakhouse. They don't cook like that there. You know how insulting it is when I asked if they had an Outback Steakhouse when I was in Sydney? I almost got smacked and thrown into a pond of alligators. A pond. They have ponds with alligators. And you make it out of the pond, you have like 13 and a half kangaroos trying to fight you, all wearing red do-rags and red bandanas. Like, are these the Bloods of the kangaroo clan? You just run away like Naruto. You know what I mean? You just run away. What can you do? I'm going on a tangent, and that's fine, but we're going to bring it back, and we're going to talk about the fact that we're going to go see Batman. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. It's episode 1. We're killing the game. We're new. We're thriving. We're young. I'm officially 25 again. When I'm on this podcast, your boy's 25. We're free, okay? You guys have a nice day. This will probably be coming out on Tuesday, because Tuesday's a good day. You know, you come out on Monday and you're like, oh, Monday. I hate Mondays. You know, Tuesdays, you're kind of over the negativity. You're back a little bit. So, with that being said, definitely like, subscribe, follow, do what you got to do to get your boy known.